Good morning and welcome to the Procook Group Plc Annual General Meeting Proceedings. Throughout the recording meeting, attendees will be in listen-only mode. Questions can be submitted at any time via the Q&A tab situated in the right-hand corner of your screen. Just simply type in your question and press send. The company may not be in a position to answer every question received during the meeting itself. However, the company can review all questions submitted there and publish responses where appropriate to do so. I'd now like to hand you over to Greg Hodder, Chairman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 11 a.m. and I declare the Annual General Meeting of Procook Group Plc open. My name is Greg Hodder. I am Chairman of the company and I would like to welcome you to this Annual General Meeting. I'm joined in person by my fellow directors, our Chief Executive Officer, Lee Tappenden, our Chief Financial Officer, Dan Walden, our Senior Independent Director and Chair of the Audit and Risk Committee, David Stead, and our Chair of the Remuneration Committee, Meg Lustman. Our Founder and Non-Executive Director, Daniel O'Neill, is joining us today by video link. Governance. I confirm that we have at least 2 members present in person or by proxy. A quorum is therefore present, and we may begin with the formal business of the meeting. Today's meeting was called by a Notice of Annual General Meeting dated 11th of August 2025, and requisite notice has therefore been given. A copy of the notice is available in the room should you require it. The notice sets out the full text of the resolutions to be proposed, and today's meeting has been called for the purpose of considering and if thought fit, passing those resolutions. Unless any member has any objection, I propose that we take the notice as read. For this meeting, in line with good governance practice, all resolutions will be voted on by poll, which I am demanding in accordance with Article 69 of the company's articles. This will ensure that the voting wishes of everyone who couldn't join us today in person are also counted. Unless there are any comments or questions to the board specifically concerning the proposed resolutions, then I suggest we proceed to the business of the meeting. At this stage, we will only take questions on the resolutions and matters relating to the business of the meeting. Do we have any questions on the resolutions being put to the meetings today? I should also note that I am holding proxy votes in favour of each resolution in excess of 99.8% of the votes cast. Resolutions. I will now move on to the business of the meeting. Resolutions 1 to 12 are proposed as ordinary resolutions, and resolutions 13 and to 16 are proposed as special resolutions. For each ordinary resolution to be passed, more than 50% of the votes cast must be in favour. For each special resolution to be passed, at least 3/4 of the votes cast must be in favour. Additionally, in accordance with the listing rules, each of the resolutions 6 and 8, which relate to the election of the independent non-executive directors, must receive a majority vote in favour from the independent shareholders of the company, that is, excluding the votes of the controlling shareholders. The directors consider that all the resolutions set out in the notice of the meetings are in the best interests of the company and shareholders as a whole, and therefore recommend that shareholders vote in favour of all resolutions, as the directors have done or will do in respect of their beneficial holdings. I now formally propose each of resolutions 1 to 16, with resolutions 1 to 12 proposed as ordinary resolutions and resolutions 13 to 16 as special resolutions. You will be voting on the full text of the resolutions as set out in the notice of the meeting. I now declare the poll open and I am appointing one advisory as scrutineer. Please complete your poll cards and hand them to the secretary. If you have already registered your proxy voting instructions, you do not need to complete a poll card unless you wish to change your vote. I now declare the poll closed The result of the poll will be announced via RNS as soon as practicable after the meeting. This concludes the formal business of the meeting, and I hereby declare the formal business of the annual general meeting closed. We now have some time to take questions from our shareholders. Before taking questions from our attendees online, are there any questions from shareholders in the room? I will now hand back to the Investor Meet Company host to assist us with any questions from shareholders online.
Many thanks indeed. We'll just give a few moments for any of those shareholders online to submit their questions. If I may just ask you to read those out where appropriate to do so, and then I'll pick up from you at the end.
Okay.
Can I ask how many are online?
A question from a shareholder here. How many attendees do we have live online? Paul, from IMC, can you see that?
We have 13 as we stand.
13.
Correct, sir.
So we've received a question from Tim. Can you give an update on current trading? So we're not going to provide an update on current trading at this point in the year. We will conclude our Q2 in the middle of October, on the 13th of October, and at that point we'll be reporting to all investors on performance during Q2. So that's only just over 4 weeks away, and we look forward to updating you then. Okay, I don't think we have any further questions today.
Okay, thank you. There being no further business, I declare the meeting closed, and thank you for your attendance.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for updating attendees today. Can I please ask attendees not to close the session? You should be automatically redirected to provide your feedback in order the management team can better understand your views and expectations. This will only take a few moments to complete and is greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the board of Procook Group Plc, I'd like to thank you for attending today's annual general meeting proceedings. That concludes today's session, and good morning to you all.